Hi, this is Trey Passer, and this is my movie review of Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol with spoilers. Um, I realize that people have already done tons of movie reviews on Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. There's my ticket there. Okay, I saw it in IMAX, and I'm a little late to the party about it. I apologize for that, but I got to see it today. I got off work early, so I got to see it this afternoon. And let me just say, I absolutely loved it. And let me just say, give you my perspective on the Mission Impossible series. I love the TV series growing up. Love Peter Graves and um, Philip Morris and Peter Lupus and Martin Barbara Bain and Martin Landau was on it and Leonard Nimoy. I love the old TV series that came on. I think, and of course, it has probably the most infamous theme song that ever came up for a TV show. So I absolutely loved it. That's where I came from as a frame of reference growing up. And in complete honesty, I hated the first movie that they made. Jim Phelps, which is Peter Gray's character, which was played I think by John Voight in the first movie. They made him a traitor, and I kind of hated that part of that. But I realized they did that to, I guess, to establish Tom Cruise, his character, which is Ethan Hunt, as a solo guy, and then he would build teams up around him. And let me say, I loved the second movie, and I loved the third movie. Okay, like I said, the second movie, I loved the villain. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. His name escapes me right now. I can't think of his name, and I'll put it in the description when I'm talking about this. The guy who played the villain in the second movie. Okay, and I loved the love interest in that, and the third movie, like I said, I loved Philip Seymour Hoffman. I think he was a great villain, and the part where he where he basically supposedly kills Tom Cruise's wife, Ethan Hunt's wife, in front of him is just absolutely chilling. I love that, and like I said, I was looking forward to this fourth movie. I saw the trailer like everybody else, and saw the Tom Cruise scaling that world's tallest building in Dubai. I said, oh, this is great. Got to see this, and like I said, it didn't disappoint me. And let me just first say, Tom Cruise was fantastic in this movie as usual. And I know a lot of people kind of knocked on Tom Cruise a lot, saying that he was losing it and stuff. But I think Tom Cruise is fearless, and for him to do that stunt that he did in this movie, and I realized I saw a little bit of behind the scenes thing where they have him really rigged up and tied up while he's climbing the building and stuff, and they probably digitally removed the wires so it looks like he's scaling the building. But still, to go out there and do that without a stuntman, is just insane. And I think he's fearless, and I love his dedication to his movies and stuff. Anyway, like I said, most of the people probably seen reviews of this movie, so they probably know the story. Basically, their team is the team that it is. Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt's character. Then you have Jeremy Renner. His character's in there, and then you have Simon Pegg, and then you have, and last but not least, Paula Patton. That's the four of them. And let me just, as a side note, I love Paula Patton. I think she's absolutely gorgeous, and Robin Thicke is a truly lucky man. Okay, she's absolutely fabulous in this movie. And same thing with Jeremy Renner. I heard a rumor that they were saying he was supposed to replace. Eventually, he's supposed to replace Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible movies. I guess if Tom Cruise doesn't want to make them anymore, and I think Jeremy Renner would be a great, it would be great to build it around him, because he's first of all, he's a fantastic actor, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Avengers movie. But he's a fantastic actor and has enough charisma and personality that he could be in the movie. I could see him taking over the Mission Impossible franchise. He's that good an actor. But anyway, let me say, like I said, the sequences in this movie, I'm just going to, since everybody knows well, not everybody, but most people that know, the story, like I said, the team gets framed for blowing up the Kremlin. And of course, they have no contacts anymore. No more contacts with the government. The government is disavowed. Of course, they call it Ghost Protocol, where the president disavows the IMF team, and they're on their own basically. And of course, there's a great sequence in the beginning, of course, where they show Tom Cruise breaking out of a Russian prison, which is absolutely fantastic. And Simon Pegg, let me just say, he's fantastic. He's hilarious in this movie. Not over the top hilarious, where he's annoying, but he's, he provides a great humor for the movie, which is great. To have in a movie, in an action movie, it's good to have a little, somebody that has humor and stuff. So that's good, because you got Tom Cruise for the seriousness, him and Jeremy Renner, Jeremy Renner to do the serious stuff, and you have Simon Pegg to do the tech. He's like the computer expert, and he provides great comic relief. Anyway, there's the great sequence where there's a nice sequence, excuse me, where Tom Cruise and Jeremy Renner is riding with the secretary, where he's basically after the Kremlin has blown up, and he's telling them that that they've been framed for blowing up the Kremlin, and the president has disavowed them, and he's basically telling Ethan, okay, if you and I'm supposed to turn you in, and where you're going to be labeled a traitor, okay, and sent to prison as a traitor. But he said, but if you escape, somehow knocking me out, and basically telling that that he's going to give them a chance to prove their innocence and find out who really blew up the Kremlin. And of course, in the middle of doing that, bam, bullets start flying, and the secretary gets killed, and the car goes over. The driver gets killed, and the car goes over in the water. And Tom Cruise and Jeremy Renner are trapped in the car, and they get which sinks to the bottom, and they try to escape. But of course, the villains are up. The police are up at the top of the bridge, firing on them, and they have to escape. And basically, Tom Cruise takes a flare and sticks it in the secretary, and I think the driver or the secretary, doesn't matter who, and just and sticks it in his mouth and just floats the body up and away from them, so they can swim the other way and get out. And I thought that was done excellently. And like I said, and another great sequence to this movie is, like I said, the scene where they basically have to, they're trying to intercept the meeting between the villain and the lady that stole the diamonds. Excuse me, that's I got that wrong. I'm sorry. They're trying to intercept a meeting between the guy who has he's trying to get the launch codes for the guy who stole the nuclear device from the Kremlin, and they set up an elaborate sequence where they're gonna they have to access the servers, but they have to do it from the outside, and that's where you see in the trailer where Tom Cruise has to climb the building, and it's like I said, it's a fantastic sequence, and you just have to see it to believe it. And like I said, Tom Cruise has to have balls of steel, because to do that, I don't care, to climb that building, and the way they show that, I saw it in IMAX. That's just pure insanity, even with the harness on that. That's pure insanity. So I give him full credit for that. And like I said, Paula Patton is great in that. Like, she's absolutely fantastic, looks gorgeous, and she can kick ass, which she does several times in the movie. Same thing with Jeremy Renner's character, who's at first is supposed to be an aide to the secretary, but later we find out that he's actually really an agent, and he has a tie. I won't say this part of the movie. There's a sequel to his character, which comes out later in the movie, which I won't say in this, even though this is review has spoilers in it. I won't say that. Let people discover what his secret is. Okay, and like I said, this movie is great. And I heard a lot of people say, I've seen a lot of reviews of this, and they said the movie kind of drags in the last half hour. To me, it doesn't drag. To me, I was fully engaged from beginning to end of the movie. We were just, I went to see it with my friend, who we frequently go to movies together, and we were fully engaged. And the movie totally kept my attention. And like I said, Tom Cruise, 2 thumbs up for this movie. I absolutely love this movie, and I hope he doesn't retire from the franchise. I know, like I said before, they're saying that Jeremy Renner is supposed to take over for Tom Cruise eventually. I don't know if he's going to do the next movie, but supposedly eventually. But I hope Tom Cruise keeps making these movies. I know he's over 50, I think, now, but he still looks in great shape. And like I said, I think he can probably still do 2 or 3 more movies. And like I said, and one other sequence I forgot to tell you, there's a great sequence, which I think you see in the trailer, where he's chasing the villain through a sandstorm in Dubai, which looks absolutely fantastic. I don't know how they shot that, but it looks absolutely fantastic. Well, he's chasing him through the sandstorm, and there's a car chase and everything, and you see the car flips over and everything else. They have just great action sequences in this movie, and the story makes sense to me, and it, like I said, it keeps you fully engaged. And you can't, to me, I was looking forward to the next adventure with this team. I hope they keep the same team. I know sometimes they switch teams between movies and stuff, but I hope they keep the same team together, because I think between Paula Patton's beauty, Simon Pegg's wisecracks and computer genius, and Jeremy Renner and Tom Cruise kick-ass characters, I think they should be. I think they could do another movie with these characters. So I really hope the next movie they include these same characters again and not switch to a new team. The only thing that disappointed me in this movie was Ving Rhames is in this movie, but he's only in it for like a 2-3 minutes. Okay, I was hoping that he would be in it, a little bit longer than that, but he just makes a little small cameo in it. Okay, and but this is Trey Passer, and this is my review. Let me know what you think, and feel free to rate the video and leave a comment. And this is Trey Patcher saying so long and take care.